So again, I just want to welcome you all, and we'll just kick this session away. So it's a session to sort of help you understand, particularly for all those who have joined today, how to start a career in project management. It's good to have everyone join from different places, different locations, and the aim would be today, not to bore you, but give you clear information and instructions on how to pursue a career in project management. I think the need to explore career options, new territories and areas of work has become important these days. And because of that, more and more people want to understand how to get into new careers, particularly careers with prospective ones, more so in IT today, in tech areas, more because technology is consistently evolving, and if you want to stay relevant, it makes really good sense to sort of embrace technology and embrace career options to give you a long-lasting positioning and relevance in the market. So again, it's how to start a career in project management, extend to your friends and loved ones as we get started. I think it only just makes sense. Whilst I know now where a lot of people are coming in from, I couldn't possibly ask all of us to introduce ourselves, but I think very quickly, I think it's good for you to know who is talking and why I'm talking. My name is Ade Awutedu. I'm the lead trainer for Ostrotech. I'm an independent freelance and IT consultant, and I've been training now since 2012 as a project management trainer, but I work predominantly in the UK in the program and project management area, and I've been in that for about 15 years. But industry and sector experience will span way more than 15 years. We're talking 20 plus years. So it's experience around private and public sector. In case you want to see me, that's me there. But it's experience around private and public sector areas within the UK, delivering various systems, business-driven technologies for organizations, and being able to add value from that standpoint. And in terms of certifications, we're talking managing successful programs, practitioner level, Prince 2 practitioner level, and a lot of other certifications that you see there, to include planning and control, agile project management and change management, etc., etc. The key thing is all of that experience and certification knowledge from working with various sector and industry aspects that has made it possible to work within under Ostrotech as the lead trainer to shape the training programs for Ostrotech. And based on that, since 2012, it's hundreds that have benefited and pursued and have been able to successfully pursue careers in project management based on the endeavor and arrangement that we have in Ostrotech. It has impacted many people, and the aim is to continually scale up and add a lot more value to more and more people. And which is one of the reasons why we want to sort of showcase and help you appreciate what opportunities in project management look like. Like I said, if you have any questions, please feel free to drop me a message on chat. The aim would be to attend to your questions as soon as I possibly can. Just to say very quickly, this will be a focus session. It won't go past 1 hour. I will try to ensure that. What I would say is, if you've invited people, try and send a reminder and give them a nudge of some sort to ensure they are part of this session and don't miss out. Okay, right. Today we're going to be covering aspects to include, because I think just before I sort of go into it, it makes sense that if we were going to talk about how to get into a career in project management, that actually help you understand what project management is. So one of the first things I'm going to do is try to adopt a two-half approach. I split the session into two halves. The first half sort of caters for helping people understand what project management is about. And I'll do that in about 4 slides. It's not difficult considering the level of knowledge that one now has and experience. It can be explained to even a baby if there was a need. And that's just the reality. So the aim is to simplify it and help you embrace it. So it's a two-half session. The first one sort of gives you that overview of project management and what it entails. And then the second half caters for how you can actually pursue a career in project management and how Ostrotech could possibly help you on that journey. So we'll look at what is a project. We'll try to define that. We'll try to define why organizations embark on projects. We'll try to look at the concept of project versus operations or BAU, just trying to really set the clarifications around the differences there. And then we'll then define project management. Once we've done that, it becomes easier to start to talk about the roles and how to start, why you should pursue a career in project management, and then we'll look at the earning potential. There may be other aspects that we'll look at, but you see all of that in the slides. So let's just sort of get into it. Again, please extend to your friends, extend to people within your network who would benefit. Let's do that as quickly as possible because we'll be done within the hour. That's my aim. Okay, so what is a project then? If I asked everyone on the call, you could just give a stab at it. What is a project? This is our way of ensuring this session is interactive. Just drop me a quick message. What is a project by your understanding? I know you're new to it, but you've heard the word project before. Just give it a good stab, drop a message, and I'll read a couple, and then I'll get into the content of the day. Can we do that as quickly as possible? Someone give it a stab, just one person. Someone try. What is a project? Anyone going to try? It wouldn't have to be accurate. Give it a shot. Or tell me elements of it that you know, elements of the word project that you know, in terms of your basic level type understanding. Anyone want to give it a go? Okay. I won't want to put you on the spot, but it's not, I will sort of help there. Let's sort of take it away. In terms of that, so a project then it's a temporary organization, and you'll be amazed we all embark on projects every day. I think someone may have done something around this, so let's see what they say. Oh, someone said it is time bound. Excellent. Thank you very much for that. Says it's time bound. I appreciate that. So a project is a temporary organization. It is time bound. It has a defined start, it has a defined finish. And don't just give me some time, you get it. I won't take too long to explain it. So it has a defined start and it has a defined finish. It doesn't run infinitely. Temporary structures, temporary arrangements to deliver one or more business products or services. These services can be tangible or intangible. It will amaze you how that we all run projects every day. It could be, for example, the prototype of a car. It could be a new house you're delivering, you're building a new house. It could be an upgrade to an existing technology, for example, or a totally new technology. You see, every time you embark on a project, you would always deliver that project to a business case. That business case is your justification or rationale for embarking on that project. So let's bring it home a bit. Everyone embarks on projects every day. In your home, you do. That kitchen uplift you had that you call the refurbishment, it took you two weeks of disruption to your kitchen. It was a mini project. You had an event that had 50 people there. It was a barbecue event. It took some time to plan it, send invites out, and make sure everybody was there. That event is a mini project. That wedding that took a whole year to plan is a project for the couple. You know, you want to count the cost, you want to think about the venue, you want to think about the catering services, all that stuff, various aspects that needs to be catered for. So projects are opportunities for organizations to actually think about delivering products and services that would deliver various sets of outcomes to them to sort of operate more efficiently as organizations. So for us as individuals as well, when we sort of embark on all these targeted things that gives us outcome, for example, think about that conservatory you just had for your house. It costed you about £10,000, but that conservatory, it took you a while to find a vendor that was going to deliver it. And you knew what specification you wanted it delivered to. And based on that, you engaged the services of that vendor, and you noticed that that vendor was the one that had the best reviews and their cost was the one that gave you the most economical advantage. Based on that, you've selected them. That was a mini project for your family. Okay, so let's not overthink the concept of projects. So organizations embark on projects every day. And there are reasons, various reasons why they embark on projects. And this is what we want to talk about here. A lot of times it could just be regulatory or statutory. And when it's regulatory or statutory, a lot of times they do not have the structures, the processes, the infrastructure, the systems, the people, the skill sets that will allow them deliver or ensure compliance to that regulation. This regulation has come from a regulatory agency or statutory body, but the organization needs to comply, failing which they could be penalized. You're talking sanctions that will be a percentage of their profits or revenue. And what they want to do is avoid that sanction. So the cost avoidance effort is that project. That project will deliver them benefits of cost avoidance, allows them to be compliant. And then you see the risk of reputational damage is eradicated because they have embarked on a project. So regulatory and statutory demands is one reason why organizations embark on projects. And in standing up a structure, a process, systems, and upskilling their people to ensure they are compliance ready, they can mitigate any issue around non-compliance. And then it caters for their reputation within the market as a compliance organization. They avoid the sanctions as well, like I talked about earlier. So from that regulatory standpoint and statutory one, I can see that I'm hoping that is quite a simplistic one to understand. But a lot of times it's also to introduce change or address their business needs. They need to upgrade an existing technology. They need to introduce a new system. They need to change a process. For example, they could have been running a manual document management system or a manual ordering process. And what they want to now do is automate. So that change introduction allows that improvement, delivers that improvement in outcome and efficiencies they want to achieve as an organization, allows them to operate more effectively. And that is what happens with organizations. So every time they're always in a state of flux where they are thinking of consistently improving and running more efficiently. And it could be sometimes because an organization is merging with another or one organization is acquiring another. Business expansion is something that is common. It may be they want to increase their branch network across a region and go past a region or even a continent into another continent or go outside of the country into another country. Expansion drivers are common for projects. And because of that, they'll set up a project to achieve that expansion objective. Think about it, competition. The simple example for competition is your mobile device. You have Apple, you have Samsung, you start to see Samsung comes with a new version of phone and then Apple responds, that kind of thing. And that is just really, really easy to understand. A lot of this is to cater for their customers' demand. They want to respond to the market demand and make sure they satisfy their customers. In the end, when you sum up all of this, the organizations embark on projects to survive. They want to stay in business. They want to generate revenue. They want to increase their profit margins. They want to ensure customer loyalty. They want to attract new customers. So it's not a difficult piece to understand. If you start to look at it that way, you start to find out that day in, day out, organizations will always embark on projects because that's the vehicle and mechanism for introducing change. IT change, business change, different kinds of change. Process improvement, whatever kind. Someone will have a business case, which is the justification or rationale a project is delivered, is initiated to sort of deliver that particular product or service or improvement area as identified. Okay, so one of the things I want to do very quickly is separate projects from what we call operations or BAU. So by BAU, we mean business as usual or business as normal. I'm sure a lot of you have heard that acronym before. What I'm not going to be doing today is ask you too many questions. The reason is I want to keep this really short and focused so that I don't keep you for too long. Now, one of the things we've established today is that projects are temporary. We've established that. We've said they will deliver unique products or services. We've given different examples. It can be one or more of such products or services. They will deliver to specific defined objectives, okay? And then one of the other things that is very important is each time you have a project arrangement, that temporary organization, the first thing you must, I think it's important to emphasize this concept of temporary. Projects don't run infinitely. They have a defined start and they have a defined finish. That wedding that you're planning will happen on a particular day. It may take you 12 months to plan for it. But on the day it happens, that's the day you launch it and the event runs and the couples are united and they continue their life afterwards. So the same thing with projects for organizations. They will have a temporary arrangement. It would take them a long time to pull all the resources together, get things working to ensure that final product can be delivered. Now, you will have a set of people work on projects. Those people are the subject matter experts. Those people are the SMEs. Those people are the people that have the skill sets to deliver that new system. Okay, they are the technical practitioners. Now, they will come into that project to ensure that arrangement fits together and a new product and service is delivered for the organization. You see, that product they delivered is handed into what you call your business as usual or business as normal function. Okay, so your operations then will be the people that will have any product or service delivered by projects handed over to them, so that your operation represents your routine, repetitive, day-to-day activities. So, for example, it will be same ongoing service or product delivered as part of your business as usual or business as normal function. So customer service will be customer service every day. Marketing team will run marketing activities every day. Sales will run sales every day, etc., etc. Okay, so it's same ongoing service, same product being delivered. Accounting team will always deliver accounting functions on a day-to-day basis. So it's same objective and it's same people, same team within that business as usual or operations function. Remember, we said that's your routine, that's your day-to-day activities within the business. That's your operations, that's your business as usual or your business as normal. Okay, so we go very quickly based on all of what we've talked about. If you have really seen, for example, in the last slide, we said on project, we'll have a set of people working to deliver that product, and then that product is handed over to your operations or BAU team. So that allows us to get to a place based on all of what we now know. We know what a project is. We know why organizations embark on projects. We know that projects won't be BAU, but BAU will inherit any product that has been delivered from projects. So they will maintain any product or service delivered by projects, so that then we can look at the definition of project management. And I'm not going to put you on the spot, okay? So looking at the definition then, project management is simply put, based on what we have said around a temporary organization that would deliver one or more business products or services. Project management then is the planning, keyword planning, delegating, monitoring, and control of all aspects of the project. It will include the motivation of those involved to achieve the project objectives within expected performance targets for, critically, time based on the temporary nature. I'm sure by now you agree with me. We have established that it is temporary. It has a defined start. It has a defined finish. Okay, so it will also include, as a performance target, we need to deliver to cost. We need to also deliver to scope. So your cost is your budget that you have for that project, and your scope is what you're delivering. It could be a customer relationship management system. It could be a new house. It could be an upgrade to an existing system. It could be an event of any sort that you want to deliver for an organization. It could be a training campaign. So you see these three, time, cost, scope, make up what we call the triple constraints. These are your immediate constraints on the project, basically within which you want to ensure you achieve. You want to ensure you don't overrun your time, you don't overrun your budget, and you stay within your scope as agreed with the business. These three make up the triple constraints and are also called the project management iron triangle. Okay, now there's a certification in the UK called PRINCE2. It is championed by, it was first established by the Office of the Government of Commerce in the UK, OGC. But they now introduce PRINCE2. PRINCE2 is project in a controlled environment, and I've introduced 3 additional performance targets you want to achieve as part of your project delivery. And those would include benefits, You want to ensure you deliver benefits, which is improvement outcomes, measurable outcomes that you can deliver for an organization as part of a project. You want to ensure you deliver to quality, which is those key quality standards that have been defined for projects within your organization or for the particular system. You want to ensure you are complying to that. A measure of quality could also be the fact that you have a range of requirements. You want to ensure you satisfy them and make sure that you can check, you can tick and confirm that they have all been satisfied. And then you want to deliver your project to minimal risk and have mechanisms for mitigating them. I hope it's making sense. So based on what we said, we can summarize this way, that project management is the planning, delegating, monitoring, control of all aspects of the project. It includes the motivation of those involved. Motivation becomes important because you're dealing with people. These people have the technical skill set, the technical expertise, the technical capabilities for delivering that project. They are the ones that are the subject matter experts to achieve that project objective within expected performance targets for time, cost, scope, benefit, quality, and risk. So if we had to summarize what project management brings to the organization is structure, it's process, it's a method for ensuring projects can be delivered. That is simply put what it brings to organizations. And then the people that are project management professionals are the people who have understanding of the various methods, processes, principles that are required for delivering projects. Let me say something very quickly. Everyone just listen to this one. You won't have to be an IT expert to deliver an IT project. All you need is an understanding of project management principles required for delivering projects. And you use your skills and expertise that you acquire based on training, based on mentoring, based on people guiding you, coaching you to help you acquire those skill sets. You use the expertise you have acquired to enable functions of planning, delegating, monitoring, control, and motivation for projects in an organization. You bring that skill in to enable the delivery of projects to time, to cost, to scope, and deliver benefits, and to quality, and to minimum risks. If you have any questions, feel free to drop. So there are different kinds of roles in project management. Different kind of roles. We're talking project management itself, where you have managers who are responsible for overseeing projects. So at the top there, I have the managers. You see, they oversee projects and are responsible for the day-to-day delivery of projects for organizations. A sponsor, project sponsor, will recruit that person to say, come and manage this project for me. I can see, having passed an interview, you have the skill set necessary, and you can manage this project from start to finish. So what that project manager brings in is a range of skills, some of it technical, but let me help you a bit. It's not all about technical skills. It's all those soft skills, interpersonal skills, soft skills that you have acquired over time. Think about it this way. If you had to recruit somebody to come and deliver a project for you, would you just recruit someone that has all these technical skills with thinking attitudes? The answer would be no, and I'm sure you would agree with me. So what you want is the balance of technical in terms of knowledge of project management, but with a solid background and orientation in soft skills. Everything around the ability to communicate, the ability to, both written and oral, to be fair, and then your ability to negotiate, the adaptability skills, teamwork and collaboration skills, leadership skills. All of those soft skill aspects, emotional intelligence, all of those soft skill aspects that allows you to thrive and get along with people. It's a lot of people management that is required for successful project management. So at that level where you're a project manager, you may want to say that there's a lot of experience required, but we have had many people from Ostratec start their career from project management level as project managers from the get-go, being their first job. And they have come sometimes from with no experience at all. Some of people who have been in support, care work, security, different aspects have come through this process and now work in project management based on the training programs that we have. But more common for people to secure entrance and start careers in project management really is the entry level and mid-level roles, where you can be a support project management resource, a coordinator, an administrator, you can be a junior project manager, you can be a project planner. But those skills are not in themselves mundane. You will still need to acquire the skills, you need to gain the experience, and then be able to apply yourself based on the coaching and mentoring you receive to allow you deliver projects and work as a project management professional. The first thing I need to say is that it's not difficult. And I will still talk about how to start this career a bit more. Then there are also other career aspects in project management that includes PMOs, project management officers, who would sit in organizations as the ones who establish project management governance policies. They are the ones who will sit in organizations to establish project management standards. They will sit in to ensure execution capabilities are in place. They will also sit in to ensure that they can support the organization in the project management maturity of that organization. So they are like the ones that establish the project management practice for organizations. Where you have a solid PMO, it can be project management office, it can be program management office, it can be portfolio management office, depending on how it is applied in an organization. And it can be, in terms of the way the PMOs are applied, they can be applied in different forms. But today we will not go into that detail. The reality is that with a good training program, you can, having been trained, apply yourself in any of these areas that I've just sort of called out. And with experienced trainers that have done this over and over again, they would also identify where you should best apply yourself to sort of ensure you can progress this career. But to sort of really answer the question, how to start a career in project management, see, it starts with first self-belief. That's where it starts from. The identification that you can do it. I always like to tell people anyone can achieve anything. Okay. Then beyond self-belief is the fact that you have identified this as an area of interest, a career area you want to pursue. Once you have, you now need to start to think about all those things that allow you to pretty much start it. Sometimes it may be you really trying to find an organization that have, depending on where you are, that allows volunteering, where you can participate in projects that are already existing. It can be that depending on where you are, you participate in internship programs with organizations. But there is a level up where, for example, you're already a professional or you're already working and you want to just sort of transit and change careers. It may just be you find a mentor, you find a coach who can coach and mentor you and train you through starting that career and changing that career. But again, even for people that have had little experience, zero experience, and have never done project management, the same principle applies, where you find a coach, you find a mentor, a training organization like we do at Ostrotech to sort of help many people commence careers in project management. Like I said, I've been training since 2012, and I've helped, based on the way we have applied ourselves, also at Ostrotech, hundreds start careers in project management. Some of them are mentors on this call, and they also participated in some of those training programs, some of whom I mentored directly myself, and now I've become mentors for Ostrotech. They will introduce themselves shortly, but if you have any questions, please ask. I think the next big thing is to talk about what are the benefits to starting a career in project management, why you should start one. I know the demand for people to change careers has become stringent today, and more people are looking for career options that are prospective, that will increase your earning potential, that gives you a future, something that you can always look forward to. It won't matter where you start, let me just sort of say, you will always derive the benefits of growth. I have seen people who started with 5-figure salaries and are now on 6-figure salaries. And it's just about staying there and growing that career. First, really thinking about getting your foot in the door. We're not going to get greedy from the get-go. The most important thing is that you have a coach, a mentor, an organization that can handhold you, that have your interest at heart, not just collecting your money. That's not what we're about in Ostrotech. I need to sort of say that very quickly. So in terms of why you must pursue a career in project management, the first thing I need to say to you, I've already touched on it already as part of this conversation, is that Project management leverages a wide range of reusable skills. It's soft skills, it's technical skills. And I started with everyone pretty much runs projects one way or the other in their day-to-day lives. But we have a range of soft skills. Like I see, project management is not so much all technical. It's all these interpersonal skills, people skills, attitudinal skills that you bring to the table. If you remember how we defined project management, we said the motivation of the people involved. How do you motivate people if you don't have the right interpersonal skills? So it's a balance of those interpersonal skills and the technical. It's not so much certifications, even though certifications are important. And I will always challenge you to have one as part of the process. Okay, so it leverages a range of those skills, soft skills, your communication skills, your attitudinal skills, skill aspects, your ability to lead others, teamwork, collaboration skills, all of those things, ability to negotiate, adaptability skills, very important. This is different from all the technical project management skills. Those ones, you may have already gained some or acquired some because you're already a professional. But what then happens with a good coaching organization and mentor and training organization, we help you focus those skills for project management effectiveness. Okay, one of the other things that is important is that it's a career area with prospects. It's a career with prospects. It enables advancement and growth within it, within that profession. And you see the examples of what I'm talking about shortly. It's also an opportunity to intentionally add value and give your career a boost, enhance your skill sets. If you have questions, please ask. You can increase your earning potential. And I'm going to be honest, there's no limit to what is possible. I haven't done this in not many years. I've done this since 2012, like I said, training people, helping people start careers in project management. One of the things I'm going to say to you very quickly, don't start thinking six figures. No, just get started. It won't matter to me where you get started. Like I said, I've seen people who started with, let's say, 35K. Today, they're over 100K within 3 years. So you get your foot in the door and start growing. Start applying yourself, get aggressive around your growth. You need to understand that it's not all of what I've said alone. There's a lot of hard work to it. If, for example, you came to Ostrotech, we cannot get you a job. I have to be honest. But guess what we can do? We can support you. As long as you're putting in the hard work, we can support you, guide you, train you, coach you, make sure you have all the resources necessary, including preparing you for interviews when you have them, making sure your CV is top-notch. You know, those things they call killer CVs will work with you to achieve them. And guess what? I am not just talking because I feel like it's what we have done over and over again. You listen to some of the success stories that are on the call just now. Yeah, and one of the other important things I need to say is that it is industry agnostic. What that means is that it is not specific to any industry or sector. Project management is applicable to the health sector, applicable to charity or voluntary sector, applicable to oil and gas, applicable to construction. If it's aviation, you will need it there. It's applicable to any sector, pharmaceuticals, think about it, any sector. Because organizations are more and more adopting the project management way of working. And guess what? It's not going anywhere. Okay, and the investments in projects for some organizations, you'll be amazed, is multi-billion pounds. At least for where I work, is multi-billion pounds. Okay, so it's very important that people understand some of these things in terms of what is possible, in terms of the opportunities that exist. And guess what? Right now in the market, there are just too many jobs they can't find people, quality people. And this is the best time, I'm going to be honest with you, to start a career in project management. On your screen right now is the potential earnings in project management across the UK, across the USA, across Canada. I'm just going to focus on the UK. And you can see also the career progression opportunities from what I call the entry-level layers, which are the project coordinator type roles, so project management, and then senior project management and director level type work. Now, remember, this is it's a survey, and it's just down to the participants that were involved in that survey. But look also at the salary range, the average salary range in the UK. So we're talking about, let's say, about 22K to upwards of 117K per annum. It's possible. Okay. And if you're a freelance, it's anything from 39 to 625. And guess what? I've seen many people way over 625. I've seen 625 many times and over. So don't really dare think that this is a constraining piece. This is just averages based on the survey. Okay, and this was 2020. The 2023 figures are being collated at the. I tried to get that for this session, and it's currently being collated. The survey is ongoing. But the key thing I want to say to you is that there is a lot of opportunities there, and you can see how that 6 figures is possible. Remember, this is average, because over 117. I know even on this call, people that are above that. Okay, that are mentors already with Ostrotech. Okay, so it's just for you to understand that these things are achievable, doable. Everybody started from somewhere, and you can also be that person as long as you can push yourself, apply yourself aggressively. You must want this thing. If, for example, you came to Ostrotech, one of the things I always say as the lead trainer for Ostrotech is that you must want this whole thing you are engaging us for more than we want it for you. Because there's no magic I could perform to get your job, because you will need to attend the interview, but we will prepare you for it. You will need to start applying, but we'll help you know where to apply and help ensure that your CV is market ready. That's what we do. That's why we have mentors. That's why I'm there as the lead trainer to sort of shape a program that allows people to succeed. Okay, so just before I go into what we offer at Ostrotech, I want to allow some people to talk. Millie is a success story for Ostrotech. Millie, if you're on the call, can you unmute yourself and just talk to us around your Ostrotech experience? Give us your name, give us the sector you work in, help us understand your Ostrotech experience and how the journey has been. Millie, can you hear yourself? Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, hi. As Ade said, my name is Millie, and I'm working with an NGO at the moment. With what I got from my training, basically, I used to work as a software test analyst in IT industry, but I needed another progressive way. And I didn't really want to go too much into technical roles. So a friend recommended PM for me and recommended Ostrotech for me. I called and I got in touch with Ade, and he guided me through the registration and the course and everything. I did the course, and he helped me mostly with my CV, with interview preparation and everything. And I got a job in the role I'm in at the moment.
Okay, can you tell us some of the projects you're working on now? I have other questions for you. And if you have questions for Millie, drop it on chat. I will read them out for Millie to respond because I know having come on this kind of a call, you would have questions. And what we want to do is help you understand what's possible, address some of those concerns that you've got. Very quickly, Millie, can you tell us what project you currently delivered? I'm aware what project it is because I've supported you through some aspect of it, but summarize that project for us.
Okay, with my company, you wouldn't end up working on just one project. You can do anywhere between 3 to 5, 6 projects at a time. Some of the projects I've gone through was raising a tender for a security operation officer for our company. And with that, it being a public sector, you need to have an understanding of their processes for procurement. So depending on the budget you've got, it's either you get a quote, it's either you get, how do we call it? You get a proper RFP, request for proposal or request for quotes from other companies. But if the budget is big, then you need people to bring their proposal regarding what you are looking for. So what basically we did was, for the SOC, we needed a third-party company to come and manage that process. So we did an RFP, send our requirements out there, and other companies came in and put in their proposals. So at the end of the day, you need to gather all the companies that came in with their proposal and do the interviews, shortlist them, do interviews, and select the third-party company you want to go with. And after that, you need to get their third-party, their references as well, and then see through with the onboarding and everything. I've done.
Okay, I think I would take that for one example of a project. So it was a security operations center system that you procured for the organization, and then you also manage the implementation. So what I would want to ask is the procurement process you talked about. How did you learn about it? How did you always know about it? So what did you have to do to sort of apply yourself on the job to sort of get on with that process?
I didn't have any experience with that, although I was in IT industry already. I didn't know anything about procurement. I didn't know much about how do we call it, project management. The bit that I was doing was mostly testing softwares. But with this, the company, like Ade said, when you're managing a project, you sit with subject matter experts, and if it comes to procurement,
there is an
you will definitely have somebody from procurement department.
Excellent. I think with that, Millie, I'm happy with the answer you just gave. I like the way you sort of went there, because that was the kind of thing I wanted to say. There is a reason I asked that question for everyone. Don't start thinking, oh, procurement process. Don't start thinking, oh, testing. You don't have to be a tester. You don't even have to have knowledge of testing. You don't have to have knowledge of procurement processes, but in Ostratec, we actually teach that process. We introduce you to it, because I've been in IT now almost 15 years, delivering projects. I'm working on programs, etc. I have not had one project yet where I have not bought something. So there's always procurement of some sort. Okay, so because of that, it becomes necessary to introduce people to the procurement process. And that's one of the things we cover as part of our training. Thank you very much, Millie. Very quickly, I want to introduce somebody else who actually just secured the role. Law, can you speak to us? Help us understand, give us your name, give us the sector you'll be working in, because you're about to start, and then help us understand the job title you just secured, what you were doing before, and your Ostratec experience.
Okay, thank you, Ade. My name is Law. I just recently got a transformational project manager role, and it's with one of the big IT companies in the UK. Prior to that, I have been engaged in a different kind of training setting. So I've been doing lots of training. I've had a quick understanding about project management, but coming to Ostratec, it was a great thing, because the lead trainer, which is the person talking to us, took time to explain what you understand about project management, from what you need to do to deliver a project, getting you to understand the knowledge aspect of project management. The good thing about Ostratec is that the training it brings it down to the simplest form for you to understand what you ought to do. And then throughout the training, after the training, they offer you what I think is not offered many places. And that is all just to prepare you for an interview. Now, the CV writing, many people do it, but one thing I've noticed with what the lead trainer did for me is that the CV he did, on the time that I sent it to different job websites, I got several calls, several interviews by that CV that he did. And importantly, the interview session which he had over an hour, which is something that ordinarily should have costed a whole lot of money, sometimes up to 250, 300 pounds for people to prepare for the interview. He did that for free. And then that was one of the things that gave me the basis to procure this role that I'm starting in a couple of days' time. Thank you.
Would you recommend Ostratec?
I would certainly recommend Ostratec. I think I've had this training before, but the good thing about Ostratec is that the training is brought down to the simplest form for you to understand what you ought to do. And like the last person said, the last training I had with project management, I didn't have procurement training, but Ostratec brought that procurement training, which is one of the things I was asked as a question during my interview. So certainly, yes, I will recommend Ostrotech.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you for that good update and summary. I think before I go into what Ostrotech can do for you, we have a lead mentor here. His name is Derek. Derek is the lead mentor for Ostrotech. We have other mentors also on the call, maybe a couple of them. I think Buki and Sally maybe also be on the call. I would just call one of them in addition to Derek to sort of speak with us. So Derek, if you can unmute yourself, talk us through our mentoring program. And whilst he's talking, just read what's on your screen to familiarize with our program.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. So my name is Derek. Sorry, just a minute. I'm just trying to mute where the noise is coming from. Ade, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes.
Okay.
I can.
Okay.
I think it's muted.
Yeah, I've muted it. Yeah. Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Derek, like Ade said. I'm the lead trainer, and like he said, we have mentors.
Lead mentor.
Lead mentor. Sorry, like he said, we have mentors who have gone through this process, and I'm one of those who have gone through this process. I went through this process a few years back, and I'm here supporting as well because this system has been very beneficial to me, and I felt it was good for me to also be part of people's journeys and also help as much as I can. With the mentoring process, what happens is that after your training, you get given a scenario project, which as a group you undertake. And for each group, there's a mentor assigned to each group. And what that mentor does is to work with that group to help them understand what it is they're supposed to be delivering and help them through that journey of delivery end to end. That's from the start of the project to the end of the project. And teaching them at every given opportunity when required. As much as we're there to support, we also try to encourage people to do it first and make the mistakes. Then we come in and teach them or show them how it should be done. So that mentorship process comprises of you going through your scenario project with your team, where you would have various roles assigned to the team individual. So you have someone who role plays as a project manager, someone who role plays as a BA, whatever the situation is. And just to aid proper understanding of the project management process and principles, I would say. And as mentors, we work with you throughout that journey. And while this is also ongoing, we help prepare CVs as well, help you prepare your CVs. The CVs will be verified by Ade, who is the lead trainer, but we help walk through the CVs. And also, we're just there to provide whatever supports, because sometimes we know people have different learning paces, so we tend to give a push when it's required. We tend to encourage people when it looks like, okay, they are not probably feeling it, or they expect that they should be doing more, but we're just there as a support system, basically. And to add to what the lead trainer has done during the training, because let's be honest, he will understand it better. You will understand the process better when you go through the scenario project. Then it begins to make more sense to you, because for someone who is new to this, whatever might be taught in the training, you would understand some of it, but some might sound like gibberish to you. Yeah. But once you undergo this process of a scenario project, it becomes clearer, and you begin to understand, oh, so this is what Ade was talking about when he said this. So we mentors are just there to help and hold your hands through the journey. Even after the scenario projects were there, I've had people in groups I've mentored who have secured roles, and they still call me for support even after they secured their roles, to say, oh, I've encountered this at work, how do I go about it, and things like that. We're there to support you through your journey and just push you till you secure a role and you're comfortable in that role, and you can take it forward yourself.
So what do you do now, Derek? So what do you work as right now?
I'm a project manager in the aerospace industry.
Awesome. Awesome. Thanks for that. I thought it was important that you mentioned that. And you were not always a project manager before you met us, were you?
No.
I think it was important to make that clear. So what's happened is we have many people from having secured roles here who are now mentors. We have 5 mentors. 3 of them are project managers and 2 of them are PMOs. Of those 5, Derek is the lead mentor, but very quickly, I want somebody else to talk, and it's Buki. I think it's just good for you guys to understand and see how much value is being added through this process, and how that yours will not be any different if you chose to engage Ostratec and take things forward. Buki, can you very quickly unmute yourself and just summarize? I know you're a mentor, but just summarize your Ostratec experience and why you think we are the ones that people should engage if they needed to start a career in project management. You've got 2 minutes.
I'll try and keep to that. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Buki Adetayo. It's great to be here and just on this platform with Ostratec as well. So my journey with Ostratec, I came in, I wanted to move or take a step up within my project management career, and someone introduced me to Ostratec. I got to speak to Adi as well, went through the project scenario exercise, and had my interview prep and all of that, and I was able to get a role after that. And then eventually, now one of the mentors with Ostratec, Boboyes, laid out the process for the Ostratec mentoring process and how it all works. So I'm currently working as PMO within an IT industry. The mentoring process is something that's quite good. I think it's one of the things that helps Ostratec to stand out, having a project scenario, but also having the mentors there to support you, and everyone just comes together. Once you finish your training with Ostratec, get added to a forum. It's more like a community of practice where people can drop questions will be answered, and as we always said, we can reach out to people when we have issues and say, look, I have this issue, I think you'd be able to help me out, can you help me out to this? So it's just generally, Ostratec is somewhere where it's not just all about the money, it's about your success stories, about developing you as an individual and seeing that you get to achieve the aim for which you've joined Ostratec. So definitely I recommend it to everyone. I think that's my 2 minutes done. Thank you all.
Thank you. I think you were within 2 minutes. Thank you. I actually appreciate that. Okay, it sort of feels like we're almost constrained for time, but I think I'll do the remaining in less than 5. What you have on your screen, I wouldn't be calling any more people. I'm sorry if I promised I'll call you, but I think those are the only people I sort of requested. There may be one more person, but I can't see them on the call. So in terms of the process, what we offer is the training mentoring. You've heard the guys talk about it. Our process is all virtual and it's instructor-led. I'm the lead trainer for Ostratec for project management. We have a Prince 2 trainer as well, which is a certification training. I'm a qualified trainer in that area, but I don't lead on that. I don't train it. But we have someone who caters for that certification training. We'll support everything around your CV and resume development, and we'll guide you around how to shape it. We literally take it off you once we get your draft, and then we just improve it. I finish and sign it off. Make sure it is market ready before it is given back to you. Okay, and then in terms of interview preparation, that process is also pretty much led by me, and we don't have generic interview preps. We do one-to-ones. And that one-to-one interview, once you have secured one, I actually arrange a session with you myself. All I need is let me know you have an interview. I will make out time to work with you to ensure you ace that interview. We will do that session once. We don't have to always prepare all the time. With the learnings of the one time, you can always cascade and apply yourself for other interviews. And you have all that ongoing support as Boboye or Derek has alluded, and as well as Buki. In terms of the live project opportunities, we have a simulation project process that sort of is really remarkable, and it's helped all these people you've heard today acquire roles. Prince 2 foundation and practitioner level certification possible. But what we are saying is this process that we're talking about is not about months, it's weeks, and it's 4 to 6 weeks. By 6 weeks, you should be market ready for looking for work from being a novice. As long as you are hungry, as long as you are driven, you have the self-belief and understand anyone can achieve anything. If you have a question, ask me. It becomes important to help you understand our schedule for March and April, if you are interested, and the pricing. Now, you may be seeing something to suggest is 1,306 for Prince 2 foundation certificate and project management, and everything runs over weekends, as you will see there. But you see that cost doesn't just give you your project management training, practical hands-on, but it also provides you a certificate that you can use to engage the market. The process we adopt for ensuring we ensure quality for the market is making sure our candidates always, at least as a minimum, have a certification. To start the program, you need to have paid 50% of this cost before you start. That's what we ask. And then the remaining balance, we can have an installment plan that suggests within 4 weeks you pay, but we can be flexible enough to work with you to understand any other requirements that you have. You can take a screenshot of this to understand our schedule. We have the certification trainings at foundation and practitioner level for Prince 2. Prince 2 is a UK certification requirement for anyone in project management. The minimum you should have is Prince 2, at least at foundation level. Okay, Boboye has it at practitioner, Buki has it at practitioner, and a lot of the people that are that were on this call have it at foundation at least. Okay, that I've spoken today. Yeah, so those are the courses that you can see are May to June schedule. You can take a screenshot of it, and that should help you remember what the schedule looks like. But it's all weekends. We don't do weekdays, and it's all virtual, instructor-led. You don't have to travel from where you are, comfort of your home. I promise you, you get yourself prepped for a new career within weeks, not months. We don't do months. We do weeks, and it's 4 to 6 weeks. And we have proven it over and over and over again. And you've just heard 4 people today in terms of the success stories. This is where I want to say thanking everybody for your time. If you want to sort of engage us, all you need to do, look at all those contact details on your screen, everything you've got there. You can email us, you can call that mobile, or send us a WhatsApp message. I will be responding to some of it myself. And if you need to have a call into that number, someone will be attending. Most likely going to be me, because I'm really passionate around people's journeys. We're not at a place yet where you are talking to a help desk, and it will change from 1st July, including the pricing that you see. That pricing is changing from 1st of July. So if you want to take advantage, make sure you have actually embarked on your journey before the 1st of July. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I will encourage strongly that you follow us on our social media platforms. We have presence on YouTube. You can subscribe also on Instagram as well as Facebook, and that's our website there. You can see the schedule for the courses on the website, and it's www.ostrotech.com. Any questions? Very quickly, any questions? I think it's really thanking you, but I want to pause the recording at this point.